And good Monday morning. The weekend is all over is the sad news as we begin this together. It's 40 right now. Well, actually, it's 46 with a wind chill of 40. So I wasn't exactly not telling the truth there. Welcome. How do you feel today? There is a small chance of showers today, about a 20% chance. And we go to radar. We do have a little bit popping up around Noxapater this morning. If you're up in Winston County this morning watching, we got a little bit there as we go to Doc's Toyota radar. See that around Noxapater there on 15. A little bit northern Winston County up around Gum Springs. So a little wet stuff there over around Pickensville. And as you get up in this northern portion here of Noxubee County as well. We've got a shower or two as you go just to the east of Hattiesburg. And look at the fog that we've got popping up down around Biloxi this morning. All the way down to Houma, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, those areas like that. So that's how we're starting today out. We'll take a look at the forecast here in a minute. We do have thunderstorm activity planned for the week. We didn't want to, but, well, we got to tell you the hard, cold facts, don't we? That's coming up this week as we plan this out. Super Bowl is all over. We'll talk about that and so many stories that are shaping America this morning in a moment. Hey, Becky, good morning to you. Janice is up. Bob, Karina, Charlotte, many of you. We'll be right back. Let's go to Collinsville now. We got a new word for the day.
You know, God has blessed my wife and me with 5 children. My kids now are 19, 16, 14, 13, and 10 years old. And boy, are there a lot of things they need, like clothes, cars, food, devices. And my wife and I, we provide them with all sorts of things. But according to the Bible, one of the most important things we can provide them is discipline. Listen to Proverbs 29, 15, and 17. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself brings shame to his mother. Discipline your son, and he'll give you rest, and you'll have delight in your heart. Listen, we don't have to teach our children to do wrong. We have to teach them to do right. The Bible says that foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child. Therefore, we have to work that out of them. Now, that doesn't mean we have to beat their hind ends off. Although I'm sure there are some of you watching who think your parents back in the day tried to do that. Yeah, the Bible says that the rod, which is an instrument for appropriately spanking your child, does give wisdom, but it also says reproof, which is verbal correction. So it's the rod and reproof. Verbal correction should be our primary way of turning our children from foolishness, and the rod should come as a backup in cases of repeated or serious wrongdoing. Beloved, you have to be proactive and take responsibility for the behavior of your child. In a very real sense, the child that you have behaviorally is the child you've allowed. That doesn't mean they won't act outside of what you taught them, but if they do so, they'll clearly know that's not how they've been raised. Yes, discipline is hard, but in the long run, it gives you rest. It helps you delight in your children. It's a bulwark against your children bringing shame upon themselves and you as a parent. Every day, you get up and work hard to provide material things for your children. May you work hard at providing discipline for your children as well. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Y'all look out, Vivian back from the Bahamas. Much needed vacation there. Y'all had your vacation yet? I hope you have. Summer's coming. Already February. February the 10th on top of this. It's just this year already taking off to a full-blown blast as well. Headlines shaping America as we begin it. There's lots of talk that Trump would deport Prince Harry. Says he's not going to do it. Says the royal family has enough problems dealing with Meghan Markle. So he's not going to do that to him. He's in California somewhere. You know, some things just don't make sense. For years upon years, probably since George Washington left office, politicians have kind of done what they wanted. Spending the market of, well, you general public people can't find out what this is about. As we get this new administration, we're finding out what really goes on behind the curtain in America, aren't we? I look at this new agency that we've got, the Department of Government Efficiency. Are y'all familiar with this yet? Starting to make a lot of people aware of things. Y'all get this. This was a museum display of Fauci $170,000 contract to show the work of Fauci. Anybody want to guess before I can say it? That contract has been canceled. Gone. $170,000 for that. Oh, that's just the beginning of it. That's just one of many, many things. And we'll, over the course of the next week, start to tell you what your money's been wasted on. It is shocking. It's all been hidden for years. No one's ever looked at it. As we get closer and closer to more being looked at, they're panicking. The U.S. military will be looked at soon. Y'all heard that? There's no telling what's hidden there, is it? An American Airlines flight was delayed last week after someone renamed their Wi-Fi. And it started with a B and ended with a B was the name of the Wi-Fi. We won't say the word. They usually get generally upset over that on social media. But you fill in it was a 4-letter word. They deplaned everybody, went through everything. They did not say that they arrested anyone. But someone, either a practical joke or whatever the case may be, did that. Do you remember, and I bring this up because I agree with this. There was a young man that worked for this Department of Environmental Government Efficiency. Someone went back. He's 25 years old, really good at what he did. Someone found a post that he made as a kid, and he resigned in shame. He's going to be rehired. Elon says that everybody deserves a chance. And we look at this from J.D. Vance. This is what he had. I obviously disagree with what Eli's post said, but I don't think stupid social media activity should ruin a kid's life, Vance said. We shouldn't reward journalists who try to destroy people either. And that's what it was in the end. Probably everybody in the world has made some type of post they shouldn't have, or liked something, and it's taken out of context. Now, don't get me wrong. I have not read what that young man put. I don't know what it was, but he's getting his job back. Probably does a pretty good job, doesn't he? I say this, and we bring this up. When you're out of town, be cautious. There was a lot of people that left their homes to go to New Orleans for the Super Bowl. Reporters is what I'm referring to cover this event. Let me see where this fellow was from. Kansas City is where he came from. Boarded a flight, landed in New Orleans, and at some point bumped into a woman. He didn't get to cover the Super Bowl. She killed him, robbed him, took his credit card. 27 years old. New Orleans is not a place to go play. There's people that want what you have and do whatever they can to take it. A reporter murdered for his money, left in a motel deceased. Horrible thing for someone to have to make that phone call back home to his family, isn't it? Trump has made a pledge, and normally when he makes a pledge, he really means it. He says that some, and he uses the word some, of the FBI agents will probably be forced out over the J6 cases. Those that went a little too far. We'll see what becomes of that. The sale of TikTok, who's going to handle it? Trump has put Vance in charge of that. It has an April deadline. It's going to be sold. We'll see who gets that winning bid at the end of this. Let's see what else is happening today. Do you remember the string where the football players, their homes were getting robbed while they played NFL games? Not all criminals are that smart. And they may have been smart enough to get into his home and get what they wanted. The mistake they made and how they got busted was, well, they took a selfie with all the stolen merchandise. That's called evidence. I'm telling you. There's a few of them lacking some smarts in that era there. Do y'all remember, and I had almost forgotten about this. I want to say Obama was in office 2012. The United States spent $1.6 billion in federal loans to start one of these green type plants of energy. Y'all remember that? It's going to produce electricity. $1.6 billion of your money. It's finally being admitted it's failed. $1.6 billion gone. We'll never get it back. And it never worked. They'll be shutting the facility down before long. I'm telling you, millions upon billions of your money wasted. And we wonder why we're in the shape we're in. Here's something that I didn't think I'd be reading to you. Now, it hasn't happened yet. But we sat back and watched as America ransacked it and renamed everything across U.S. of A. Y'all remember a little place called Fort Bragg? They changed the name to Fort Liberty. Army is reconsidering going back to Fort Bragg. That's what it's known as, and it shouldn't have ever been changed. We'll see if the Army comes true on that. There was a lot of places renamed quickly without thinking. They're saying possibly lower interest rates sometime later this year. We welcome that, don't we? It's tough out there. Oh, somebody else is out of a job. The head of the National Archives, looking for work now. A lot of people that weren't quite doing their jobs. We don't know the whole situation there, but now I don't agree with this at all. They went to Biden, and it's a wonder he didn't break out his ink pen after freeing 1,500 other people, but Chrisley knows best. Him and his wife are in jail. They had gone to Biden. He wouldn't let them out. They're planning on going to Trump and asking for a pardon next. I think they're just criminals. They deserve to be where they are. They also took millions of dollars, and if you watch the show, lived lavishly with money they stole. That's my take on that. I remember him denying it, but at the end of the day, it was against the law to do what he did. I'm not supporting of that. Sad news as we go to this, and we may have mentioned this. We talked about it on Friday of the missing plane that was in Alaska. All 10 people aboard have been confirmed deceased as that plane has been found. More trouble for R. Kelly. I don't think he's ever getting out of jail to begin with, but someone else has filed a $9 million petition against him. And again, he was a bad fella also. We'll see what becomes of Puff Daddy. Again, with Puff Daddy, you're innocent until proven guilty. But boy, those scales of justice sure are looking like it, aren't they? He hadn't been convicted yet. As we look at this, here's another thing. I don't know if y'all saw this. They kept it outside of the TV cameras. For the most part, I did see a flag off in the distance. It was a Palestinian flag. It was someone who ran on the field with the flag. He was quickly tackled and thrown down. Turns out he was actually a part of whatever that was we had at halftime last night. He was a part of the show. He was arrested and he's been banned from ever attending any NFL game whatsoever. Gone. That's pretty good. Didn't need to be there in the first place. Postal Service worker has admitted to stealing $300,000 worth of money and collectibles as it went down the line. What a shame. You know, we had one a couple weeks ago that admitted to stealing $100,000 worth of sports stuff. What else do we have here? Oh, EPA. They seem to meddle in people's business a whole lot, don't they? Here's the latest from that. In the last 2 weeks, EPA staffers have been told there may be a shakeup. As of now, about 1,100 probationary employees were told they could be terminated, and 168 have been put on leave. They're weeding through what's important and what's not important. Again, it's all about your tax dollars. You ever wonder why you go in a store and your taxes are so high, you buy a new car, it's woof. This is why we buy and support things of we ain't even got into all that other stuff that they've been doing in other countries. That I don't know this young lady. She's an actress. Does anybody know a lady named Christy Carlson Romano? I don't know her, but apparently she was on Disney at one point. She went on a trip with her husband to more or less a skeet shooting event for his birthday. Someone 2 rows over accidentally shot her in the face. She's going to be okay, but she's got a bead in her eye that they can't take out for now. She can see, but she was wounded pretty bad there. It's almost like hunting. What was his name? Dick Cheney?
Ooh, yeah.
Don't go hunting with Dick. That was bad. That was bad. They have cleared all of the wreckage from the Black Hawk helicopter. Y'all up to date on all this? All of that is out of the Potomac now. Sad news it is with that. An earthquake struck the Caribbean. 7.6 is what it registered. That's a lot, wasn't it? Let's see here what else we got going on this morning. There was another thing that I wanted to mention there. And let's go ahead and talk about the score. What was it, 40-22 last night? Whoa, boy, oh boy. And some fashion. We'll get into all about the halftime show, or what lack of a halftime show it was, coming up in just a moment. We're going to do your weather forecast here in just a moment. Lots to talk about. Don't go anywhere. We're also going to have a bunch of local things coming your way at the top of the hour. All that and more coming up at the Scotty Ray Report.
We welcome you to a new vehicle buying experience here at Doc's Toyota. Buying a new vehicle doesn't have to be stressful, but don't just take our word for it.
This was the best experience I've ever had buying a vehicle.
Doc's employees are top-notch.
I drove 2 hours, not once, but twice, to purchase 2 vehicles with a 5-month time frame.
Doc's delivers competitive pricing, a comprehensive selection, and flexible financing options, helping you get on the road from Carthage, Meridian, and beyond. There's a reason why there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
As the seasons change, so do your clothes, and Garrett Sport exactly what you need. Habo shirts, long and short sleeve, also Hulk shirts, and America's favorite brand, Carhartt. Whether you need work pants or slacks for church, and nothing lasts like a pair of Carhartt overalls. Maybe it's a set of boots that you need to keep you dry in those wet conditions. And as hunting season rolls in, they have all the camouflage you need and toboggans to boot. Garrett Sports Center, 3505 8th Street, Meridian.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Our record highs and record lows, 1932, it was a record high of 82. If you'll notice on the right-hand side of the screen, there's a boo-boo there. It was 1971. We had a record low of 13 on this day. Chilly, chilly day. I think I was 2 at the time. Cloudy expected today, somewhere between 59 to 60 through the Meridian area. We do show a stronger chance of showers in the northwest corner, even taking in Columbus Air Force Base, maybe possibly getting wet. We have a 20% chance periodically throughout the day in the Meridian area, across Kemper and Neshoba and southward. As we look at Bama, we should see 59 at Demopolis there at the river, even Birmingham reaching 56 today. Not bad, kind of cloudy for the most part. As we show this, now flooding is expected this week, and this will come somewhere in between Tuesday and late Wednesday evening is what is expected there, taking in all of Lauderdale County and everything north to the portion of the top part of the state there. Kind of the line there, Newton County. We do have a little bit there in the northwest corner of Jasper and Smith counties, but otherwise everything north of I-20 expect this heavy, heavy, heavy rain that is coming. Now, with that being said, we have storms that are forecasted here. As you'll see this for Wednesday afternoon. We'll see that. We'll watch this carefully. Chance of severe storms, damaging wind gusts, and a tornado can't be ruled out. This comes in a few days later, and we're multiple days out on this. We'll watch all this. This is Saturday. We're at a level 2 for Saturday, where Wednesday is a level 1. We move to a level 2 on Saturday. Lots to check on this one here. Tornadoes are very, very possible on Saturday. All this hot weather doesn't make sense in February, does it? Here's your outlook, kind of normal across our area at the moment for the next few days. This is our 7-day forecast as we kick into it. We've got a 20% chance that I mentioned today. Even after 3 o'clock, slight chance there. We go from 59 today to 75 tomorrow. And look at the rain. 60% tomorrow, 90% chance on Wednesday, then dropping to a 10% chance on Thursday. As we wrap up toward the weekend, we get 63 Friday, and then that bad weather once again rolls in on Saturday with a high of 75, 60% chance of thunderstorms, and that will probably rise with a chance of tornadic activity here on Saturday. It's going to be a level 2, pretty serious there. We're down to a 40% chance of showers on Sunday. So we're seesawing anywhere from 59 to nearly 75, 76 degrees this week. As we go another week into the month, all the way to February 24th. We'll see 50s, then mid-60s, tapping 70 for the remainder of the month up to the 24th anyway. Showers there around the 20th, and then moving back to a partly cloudy sky. Now, here's what we got for our fishing partners today. If you're headed out, J&J Auto Sales tells us a major time today is going to be at 10 o'clock till about noon. So you got plenty of time to get out there. You got a slight chance, a minor one, around 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock late this afternoon. Now, gusty, though. We're going to have winds 5 to 10, but look at this gust, up to 20 miles an hour today. Sunrise has already happened. 6:41 is when that came along. Sunset this afternoon, we start getting a minute every day. 5:37 is what we're looking for on sunset this afternoon. I'm ready to get back to that daylight saving time. As we look at radar again, here's what we got. Still showing those light showers up in Winston County in the northern, and also there across Noxubee County over into the areas there around Carrollton, Pickensville, some showers this morning. Back over Durant, Goodman, Kosciuszko areas, some light shower activity. And to the south as we move toward the coast there around Highway 45, Waynesboro, south of there around, let's see here what we got here. Smithtown, a few showers this morning all through there. And then plenty of fog that we've got here around Biloxi, all the way over to Crestview, Florida, Panama City, Chattahoochee, over into Gainesville. Look at it, Ocala, how much we've got there. Now let's look at this of the severe weather that we've got coming in on Wednesday. This is what we got. This is that level 1. And again, we cannot rule out a tornado as we look at this, anywhere from Beaumont, Texas to Monroe over to Birmingham, Alabama, down to Mobile, taking in all of the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and we'll go just north of West Point as we look at this, up to Amory, Mississippi will fall into this. Now, again, we're 2 days away from this. Could this increase? It could. And again, we're already looking at a level 2 on Saturday. It's kind of how the weather is. Right now, again, we're sitting at 46, wind chill of 40 as our day begins. Only a high of 59 today, so it'll have that nip with that 20-mile-an-hour gust swaying. That wind always makes it cooler, doesn't it? It does. Odie is coming in just a moment. He's dressed in, I think, blue over there in the corner. We'll see. Valentine's Day not all that far off. Today's the 10th. It's the 14th. That's coming up. We'll find out what's coming up. Lots of headlines on the way here at the Scotty Ray Report. Join us as we'll go live and tell you everything that's happened throughout the community throughout the weekend. Join us, won't you? We'll see you soon.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.